Hello everyone! Mel here with the second level of the campaign, Consequences. Much like the first one, this one is hard to lose, but winning elegantly takes some skill. This is the first level where we need to build a base. It's fairly simple, but the beginning is hectic with a lot to talk about. But first, there's the opening cinematic to watch. I like how expressive these models can be. Watch the hoplite in particular during this scene.
Perhaps setting out on this errand really was all that was needed to appease Poseidon. Black sails, port side! And he leads us to Kamos, too. Archers, ready your bows! Prepare to come about! They're going to pay for insulting Poseidon and Atlantis.
Here goes. Toxotes back towards shore, triremes back towards shore too. Gather everybody up, transport ship, die, town center, start training peasants. Peasants, down here. Build a house, then a dock, and then a temple. Then get favor. Catascopos, you can go scout. Arcantos, look pretty. So the enemy uses the Plague of Serpents god power to summon these sea snakes out here. Not a big threat, because most of them stand around doing nothing. But they can still troop your triremes pretty bad if you don't bring the Toxotes to support them. And focus fire, of course. Focus firing is always good. So the Catascopos here is a scout. Now, campaign maps never change, therefore you don't actually need much scouting once you know the map. However, there's one important thing to get to over here. Back to the dock, train 6 fishing ships. Okay. This shipwreck just gives you free resources, and now this Catascopos can die, I don't care. Alright, Arcantos and Toxotes, you go this way. Triremes, you've cleared the sea. I need one more fishing ship. Need to get a total of 6. Hippocampus. Poseidon provides you with these things called hippocampuses. They're moderately useful water scouts, and they're free, so why not? Okay. You guys need to hurry down this way. You need to build me more houses, actually, down in this area. Okay, hurry to get close to this tower. Towers do heavy damage at range, but they can't attack close targets. So, if I pile these guys in, the tower can't fight back at all. There, perfectly safe. They can slowly tear it down. I need to do that because otherwise the tower overlooks the gold mine here, preventing me from harvesting gold efficiently. Alright, that's enough peasants for now because I need to hurry to classical. Ares is definitely the best choice here because we need Cyclops to complete this mission. Cyclops do good siege damage, whereas Centaurs do basically none. We have no other siege units available, so we need Cyclops to destroy the enemy town. Okay, fishing ship. You need to go down there. Peasant, you need to build a wall. Walls are not available up until now, but they're very useful in the campaign, less so in multiplayer. Walls, as you might expect, are useful to keep the enemy out. To put one down, you specify the endpoints. They're fairly inexpensive as long as they're small. You can claim pigs you find around the map, but they don't need more food, so whatever. Okay, now the thing about fishing ships is that when fully upgraded, they gather food very fast, and fish never runs out, unlike most resources. But each fish school can only have one fishing ship gathering from it at a time, so you're basically limited to the number of fish schools on the map, which in this case is 6. 6 in the convenient area anyway. Excellent, the tower is nearly dead. So this is Poseidon's lure power, which lures in nearby animals to get close to your town center so they're easy to hunt. That is finished, need another house. Okay, it's the next age, so town center can go back to training peasants, and I can build myself an archery range up here. Kick out that peasant. I can build a storehouse now that the tower is dead. Move these guys down here, and you guys can start harvesting lumber. Now I can start training Cyclops for my temple. Another house. Okay, the other thing about this mission is there will be navy attacks from down south here which I need to deal with. But first I need to upgrade my lumber harvesting further. And more peasants on lumber too. Finish my first Cyclops. Arcantos get up into position. That's all the houses I need for the short term. What I do need though is a tower. So the enemy will send naval attacks from down south here. Their ships are exactly as strong as mine, so it's not at all cost effective to match them ship for ship. I'll just take casualties and accomplish nothing. But a tower can efficiently beat any number of their ships on this mission. Just a scout there, nothing to worry about. Alright, that's probably enough wood gatherers as long as I keep upgrading. I can upgrade my food gathering rate here, too, and then start training Toxicities. I want as many as I can feasibly get. So I'll turn that onto auto train. At this point, I mostly need more gold income. I also need more favor, and food would be good eventually, but I'm training villagers as fast as I can here. This is a small mission with a small population cap. Therefore, you don't want as many villagers as you usually do. Which would usually be about 12 per resource, but you still want a substantial number. Now then, towers do nothing unless upgraded, so let me cancel this next Toxicities for wood, so I can upgrade that tower. Okay, there we go. Now I can retrain Toxicities, put them on repeat, group these ones up, let's go build a house, and I think there's an attack coming. Nothing to worry about. Alright, now these axemen here will make a beeline for my archers if I'm not careful, which I don't like. Don't want to take any casualties until I have plenty of resources gathered. Okay, let me hide that guy in the town center, and now he's safe so I can kick him back out. The enemy de-aggroes from anybody who's been put into a town center, which is a good way to prevent casualties in these early missions. I'm going to need to keep building more houses, because the new Toxicities are taking up population space very fast. Alright, that's more than enough people gathering gold. What I need right now is, let's see, more favor and food. Okay, these guys can go get more food. I probably have all the people I need gathering lumber too, really. So I'll shift this person over to go get favor instead. I'll build a granary here next to where I want to start hunting. Not necessary since I have the town center there, but I need it to go get an upgrade which will be very useful. I need more houses. Now typically building placement is fairly strategic, but these houses can be thrown down more or less wherever. Just best to keep them safe and out of the way somewhere. Okay, go help those food gatherers, that should do. I have a decent number of Toxicities for now. So let me stop this, let me get that next upgrade instead. So every god provides different special upgrades. This is one of Ares's. Makes your Toxicities do 10% more damage, which isn't a ton, but it's useful if you're going to be relying on them as heavily as I am. Similarly, I want this medium archers upgrade. So that one's 10% more HP and damage for my Toxicities. Those upgrades are only really worthwhile when you have a lot of guys already, but 15 is probably enough. My Cyclops down here, keep training them as fast as I can get the favor and food. Okay, Grainer can train hunting dogs, which improves my hunting rate for the rest of the map. And that's by a whole 30%, so that's very useful. You guys keep harvesting that. It might be worth investing in one more gold upgrade because I'm running a little bit short, but I probably don't need it. Yeah, I'm not going to buy it. I don't need much more gold for the whole mission, really. It's not really efficient to have more than this many villagers gathering favor, since each adds less than the previous one. So instead I'm going to shift some of these people over to go get food, which I've been running a little bit short on recently. And then I think I'll stop training villagers, because I have enough at this point. I'll go build an armory. So the attack. At this point I basically have a critical mass of archers, so they take very little damage when they're taking down these enemies. Excellent. Wave defeated. The bottom is safe too, so I'm going to delete this superfluous trireme. All I really need the ships for is to lure the enemies into the tower, and I should let that do the actual fighting since it's much better. So you can see these guys are called Kevinites. 290 HP, 6 damage, exactly the same as mine, and their armor is the same too. All these ships actually do about triple damage because they fire 3 arrows at once, but that makes little difference for this particular mission. I'm just going to delete this mostly dead trireme so it doesn't take up important population space. Alright then. Peasants keep hunting different animals. The other peasant has finished the armory, but all I really need at this point is favor, and I have so many people at the temple already that adding another guy is not all that efficient. Whatever, just join the temple brigade. I'll do some upgrades for all of my troops here. I've got 5 Cyclops, but I'd like more. Need to watch out for the population cap though. We've got 10 houses at 10 each, 1 town center for 15, and a free bonus of 10 for this mission, so the final cap is 125, which is pretty low. Which is why I'm not building a fleet or unneeded villagers, which would just take up some of that room. Alright, things are going smoothly. I'm actually going to do this upgrade here instead of just building more Cyclops right now. Myth unit upgrades are usually more substantial than human soldier ones, so they're worthwhile even with just 5 Cyclops. The sword and their stats means they do hack damage. Let's talk more about damage types. The three kinds are Crush, Hack, and Pierce. All units have all three kinds of armor and one or two types of damage. Cyclops have Hack and Crush. So if a Cyclops were to attack a unit, it would use both kinds of damage, but the resulting total would depend upon the target's particular values of armor. For example, a Cyclops attacking a Cyclops would do 15 times 0.6 hack damage, counting the armor. It would also deal 12 crush damage times 0.2 for the armor reduction. Round up all decimals and add them up for the total damage. Generally speaking, human soldiers have 99% crush armor, whereas buildings have almost none, so crush damage is specialized for tearing down buildings fast. Myth units usually have 80% crush armor, so they're resistant but not impervious. It's due to those mechanics that this tower can easily crush all enemy ships. If you look, you'll see that it has pierce damage, which is fairly good against ships, but more importantly it has massive pierce armor. Triremes do pierce damage so they can barely scratch the tower. When the upgrade finishes, my Cyclops will put on shirts. These peasants are nearly done with those trees. Here's a fairly safe forest for them to harvest next. I'll just tell them to build a storehouse here next to it. I'll send these peasants to hunt the deer there too. They can build a granary here, roughly in the middle of the whole herd. I've got enough resources to get the armory upgrades for my troops. More Cyclops. My army isn't far from maximum size now. Just gotta fill up the last 25 population slots. Note the much higher damage now. And here's the last classical upgrade. There's the next enemy wave coming. Get close to the town center. Back up a little further. Alright, so I once again have Arcantos out here tanking. He's perfect for that since he regenerates and has higher armor. I've got so many toxicities now that they'll hardly be scratched by these enemies. Another glorious victory. Okay, it's time to send these peasants out to go find some more deer. Here some are. And they can build a new granary in this location. Those things are cheap enough that it's worthwhile to just build new ones whenever your peasants move on. And in fact, let me build another dock over here. The dock is a small upfront price. Building a new one decreases the amount of time your fishing ships waste traveling, and therefore increases your fishing rate, so that's worthwhile overall. I'm getting close to the population cap now. There's only room for one more archer as things currently stand. Along with one more Cyclops, I mean. Let me kill off one of these wood gatherers. Drop off lumber and die. Okay, there's room for one more archer. More than enough toxicities. Get back to gathering food. I've got all armory upgrades done except for the hoplite only one. Time to advance the Cyclops. I'll just group those up. Typically I put myth units or siege units in group 3, archers in group 2, and heroes and any melee human soldiers I have in group 1. The hippocampus is still bait down there. I'm all maxed out now. I'll just wait for one more enemy wave so they don't hit my base while I'm away, and then I'll be all ready to go and take the fight to them. Cyclops around this way, and I guess I'm going to go delete this injured guy here. I have tons of resources now, so I might as well just delete and replace the injured. In later missions I'll have ways to heal troops instead of killing them, but I don't have any yet. Just keep trending, getting everybody into formation, and all ready to go after the attack comes. I'm lazily getting away with only one archery range here, but in later missions of course, and in multiplayer one needs 3 or more usually. 9 Cyclops is more than I need, but I'm still just waiting for the attack, so I might as well keep training more. Alright, another storehouse over here, and I suppose I can delete these peasants, I have all the food I need. Frees up room for more archers. I don't need all of these guys anymore either. Again, I don't usually want this many villagers at the temple, it's not efficient, but in this level I need so many Cyclops so quickly that it's worthwhile. The next wave is really taking a while to arrive, but there's no point leaving before they get here, so I'm stuck. Since Cyclops are so slow, I'm going to give mine a little bit of a head start here. Should speed things up later. Aha! There they are. Yeah, I'm going to give the Cyclops a head start, sneak them around to the north here, and there's many ways to choose into the enemy base. Most of the ways in are fairly heavily guarded, but some are more heavily guarded than others are. Now, in theory, you could sneak all the way around the outside of the island to hereabouts where the enemy has no towers, but that's such a long detour that it's not worthwhile. It's best to take a compromise between that and a frontal assault down this path, where there's lots of towers and lots of enemy troops. This route is a good middle ground, and it's probably the most efficient overall. I'll set my temple and archery range to train new troops to run right to this battlefield immediately, saving me some orders. Alright, Cyclops, go attack. Toxicities, move in and back them up. I should have had the Cyclops wait another couple of seconds, but I was being lazy. Oh well. Archers can kill the human soldiers, Cyclops can attack the buildings, everybody's taking care of their own specialty. It doesn't matter since I have more Cyclops than I really need here anyway. Okay, Cyclops attack that next tower. I've got enough archers to shred even these Anubites here. But the archers were blocking each other, so we need to micro them and keep them moving forward to be effective. That's an archer pitfall to watch out for. Alright, now these things here are what Egyptian houses look like. I don't need to destroy them and they're not a threat. This town center is the only objective. If I destroy that, then I win. I order my human soldiers to advance and not waste time on the houses, then order my Cyclops to target the enemy town center. Archers can just focus fire. Aha, there's the enemy barracks. I'll use the Pestilence God power on it so they can't train any more troops as reinforcements. Another bunch of enemies, but they're just axemen, and axemen are weak. Besides which, I have plenty of spare Cyclops to tear down the town center even if I take a few casualties. Plus Arcantus is powering them all up. Okay, one less wave of Anubites and such, can deal with them easily enough. The trouble with Cyclops is they waste a lot of time stumbling over themselves and not actually fighting, unless microed all the time. And over here is our villain Kamos, who we'll be seeing a few more times in this campaign. It's possible that he's the pirate who killed Arcantus' wife previously. I don't really think so, however. Either way, he and Arcantus certainly know each other well as enemies by this point. Statistically, he's fairly tough, good hit points, very good armor, but he's not much of a threat on his own. He has a long backstory here. We never really find out his motive, which I don't like, but at least they acknowledge the omission. Alright, archers, you can go kill Kamos. Arcantus, go kill Kamos too. Cyclops, do whatever. You can see there's many troops here. There are also many towers in the fog, which again is why the top route is much better. Again, in theory it's better yet to walk along this way where there are no towers. We have to walk around the entire island to do so, so it's not really worthwhile. Some enemy ships sneaked past my trap, but it doesn't really matter. All I need to do is finish taking down Kamos. And that's it. Final cinematic time.
Another time, Arcantos. Your luck will end. I will be there to see it. Your head will hang from my mast, Atlantean!
A lot of these early campaign lines will have callbacks later on, which I rather like. That myth unit is a Leviathan, just like his description said he tamed.
At least one of Poseidon's children still favors our enemies. Load the Trident aboard the transport. We'll send it back to Atlantis immediately.
Trident subplot resolved. That was fast. That was a solid win. Only 2 deaths besides units I deleted myself, and quite quick too. As always, have a good day.